Hello everybody, welcome back to Just Keep Parenting on this fabulous Friday. The day is winding down and I thought, I haven't done this yet. Anyway, I'm always excited to share a little bit of knowledge that we gained this week, that we're getting better at, that we've slumped down and we're looking forward for. And so today, once again, from the book that's called Easy to Love, Difficult to Discipline, the 7 basic skills for turning conflict into cooperation. We're talking about skills. We've talked about the powers, and we've been talking about the skills. And so if you want to look back on that, they're all there on Just Keep Parenting. We'd love you to spend some more time just trying to do something a little bit better this week, right, with our caregiving, with our parenting with children. And so today we're going to talk about the skill of empathy, right? Because we all have fusses and fits that we try to handle, not just our own with our emotional resilience, but also with the children that we are working with. And so today, as we talk about the skill of empathy, I've thought a lot about some situations in the classroom this week, both with BYU students and with littles, right? In me trying to be empathetic to their needs and to their mistakes, right? And so this one hooks back into the power of acceptance. And if you'll remember, the power of acceptance is about accepting what we can't change, right? Dr. Bailey talks about it is what it is, right? And it is, we can't change that kids are going to fuss and throw fits. That's part of who they are, right? But we can change how we react to those, right? And so today we were talking in our capstone class about one of my students is a parent. And so sometimes I call on her to say, so how does this work, right? Give us your experience. And so today we were talking about how hard it is to react when we're in our brainstem and not in our thinking brain, right? And how difficult that is, because then we end up doing things that we don't want to say or don't want to do, right? And so taking a breath ourselves and saying, you know what, we need to talk about this, but I'm angry, I'm frustrated, and so I'm going to go take a walk around the block, and then we'll come back, and I'm sure that I'll be in my thinking brain at that point, and we can talk about it, right? So we want to prepare ourselves so that we can be empathetic in order to have those difficult conversations with our spouse, with the teachers that are working with us in the classroom, or with the children that we're working with, right? Sometimes it may be a relationship at work as well. And so there are things that we can't change. We can't change people. We can only change ourselves, right? But we can change how we react to that. And an empathetic reaction gets us a little bit further down the road than an energy-filled reaction, right? So empathy, one of the things I've been thinking about is empathy demonstrates acceptance of feelings and teaches compassion, right? And so the book or the example that Dr. Bailey talks about is a father and a son, and it's time to go to bed. And, you know, the son kind of fusses and said, well, I'm watching this great movie and it's not quite over. Can I just have 10 more minutes? And the father's like, nope, it's bedtime, right? So come on up, let's go to bed. Now we could have reacted 2 different ways, right? You know the TV schedule goes off at 8 o'clock, so you're going to bed, right? And that doesn't teach anything about my feelings, right? Yes, there is a TV schedule, it is, but listen to my feelings for a minute. And sometimes as parents, we think, I don't have time for this. We got stuff to do, right? But in actuality, if we could say to them, buddy, I know you like whales. I know that this is important to you, but my job, we say this all the time to the kids, my job is to keep you safe, right? So as your dad, we're going to get upstairs, we're going to go to bed, because I know that you're kind of cranky in the morning if you don't get your sleep. So that's why we have the TV turn off time at 8 o'clock. So up you go, let's get upstairs and go to bed, right? And then, you know, on your way upstairs, that's where the empathy comes in, right? I can see you're kind of disappointed in this, buddy. Your shoulders are slouched down. You kind of got this heavy look on your face. And I get that, buddy. I get disappointed too when I have things that I want to do, but I got things I got to do. And so I get that. you know, but I didn't have any idea that you were interested in whales. That's kind of cool. So maybe we could do something tomorrow about, you know, working on green space, joining green space or doing something like that. So there's where the empathy comes in, right? The empathy does not come in on us being permissive. Okay, well, you can have 5 more minutes, right? Because then we're going to get the wrath of that in the morning, right? So we want to make our life better as we're helping their life to be better as well. So one of the things that she brings out is, as we listen to our child, we're not attempting to change their feelings. We had a situation in the classroom this week where a teacher was working with a child, and the child was frustrated and crying, and the teacher said, "You don't need to cry about this, honey, it's all okay," right? Trying to help them to feel better. But as we debriefed about it at the end of the day, I said to the student, what were you communicating to them? And she said, "I guess I was communicating that their feelings didn't matter." I said, "Yeah, they are concerned, they're crying, right? Because whether they didn't get enough snack or whether the friend isn't playing with them, right? In the big picture, it is all going to be okay. We get that as the adult, right? But the child doesn't get that yet, right? So validating their feelings and say, I bet you were frustrated. I bet, yeah, you're still hungry, but the lucky thing is, buddy, you're going to get to go home and you're going to get to have a snack when you get home too, right? So maybe it wasn't enough snack today for your tummy, but in 1 hour, your mom's going to be here and you're going to be able to go home. Or in this situation, the child had fallen, right? It's going to be okay. You're okay, right? You don't need to cry. Well, actually, she did want to cry because it hurt, right? So here, let me see if I can help you. We can get you a wet paper towel. We can get you some boo-boo cream. What would you like to do, right? Give them that choice. Give them that autonomy. So you're validating, right? You're validating their feelings and moving on. So many times when we validate feelings, the fuss and the fit shortens. And isn't that what we want, right? We want that time to shorten so that we can move on with things, right? But when we sit there and resist them, right, sometimes it gets longer. So our goal this week is to handle the fusses and the fits with a little bit more empathy as we're working with our children. Handling that teaches them emotional maturity, right? And that's what we want for our children. We want them to have, to grow in their emotional maturity. So I hope that as we work with children this week, that our goal is to say to them, disappointment is a part of life, and I am here to help you through it. And I'm just grateful for all of you who've helped me through disappointments in my life. I'm grateful for the empathy that has been shown me as an adult, right? And I just think of all the wonderful opportunities that we have in our lives, in our week this week, just to give empathy to children, to give empathy to those we live with, to give empathy to those who might cut us off, to give empathy to those who voted differently than we did, right? It's about relationships. So I hope that as we can share that disappointment is a part of life, and we will help each other through it. Have a great weekend, everybody, and shout out to you today, and have a great weekend. Thanks for joining me here today.